So, if we don't have enough money to retire with, why are we still making other people rich? Now, it's Chris here from Retire Me Wealthy, and today I want to look at 3 ways that people like you and me have been making other people rich and flushing our money down the toilet. So, let's get started with number 1, which is the new car. Now, smell that leather and look at those shiny black tyres and play with all the gadgets and feel the force that will be with you when you drive down that dual carriageway, snaking through the traffic and cutting lorries up and accelerating the way past all the poor people. But such power comes at a cost, and a heavy one. Now, new car dealers come with the latest slick sales offers to draw you in. The figures float this way and that in front of your eyes, and the upsells, the downsells, the discounts, the special offers. Now, the salesperson is your friend, and he's out to get you the very best deal he can for you, isn't he? Eventually, the deal closes and your new car awaits you, and you drive it away on top of the world. But the minute you drive it away, you've lost possibly thousands of pounds because it's now a second-hand car, and its true financial value has changed dramatically. And if it's a big car or one of those with a name of 3 or 4 letters, and I don't mean Fiat, it will have lost quite a few £1,000s. And wait until you come to tax it and insure it and look at the bill for a new tyre or replacement windscreen, and then check out the trading price when you come to get rid of it a few days down the line. How much? Now suddenly your pride and joy doesn't look such a good investment because it's only worth half what you paid for it. It doesn't smell that good and it's got some sort of bumps and scratches on it. Some of those sensors aren't working and there's a funny noise coming from somewhere. So what do? You go and see your best friend in the car showroom again. Come on in, he says, have I got the car for you? So you take the dismal trading price and the new monthly cost makes your eyes water. But look at all those extras you're getting. Free MOT and valeting and a full tank and sniff that leather and look at those shiny new tyres, all black and gleaming. Yeah, it's definitely hard to resist. But if money's tight and retirement looms, do we really need that expense? Now, I'm not saying drive a bubble car or a 20-year-old Fiesta, but somewhere between a scrapyard Dodger and a magnificent new state-of-the-art Range Rover, a car deal is to be done with reputable people. Now, a main dealership has lots of mouths to feed, all sorts of admin people and accounts people, as well as the sales guys and the mechanics. Lots of expenses, and you're paying for them, and I'm paying for them. And if we get our car delivered on a big truck, who do you think's picking up the bill for that? Somewhere in the costings. And that's before the finance charges. Which brings me on to our second method of crazy spending: banks and loans and cards. Part of the retirement procedure is starting to save money. And while most people will probably have some sort of a pension arrangement or savings plan from somewhere in their working life, often it's not enough. And many have not had a chance to really get to grips with pensions and nest eggs in these last few turbulent years. So with retirement approaching, perhaps in say 5 to 10 years, it's time to start putting money into investments that will keep you from starving in your later years. But there's not a lot of use playing with ISAs or savings plans at 4% if we are borrowing money at 15% or using credit cards and store cards at 29% or payday loans at 999%, but it happens. Now, banks have never consisted of exceptionally nice people, although there were people who came in useful from time to time, and customer service was adequate if a little cool. But now you struggle to find a bank, never mind find nice people in them. And a bank having too many branches doesn't help shareholder profits. So their solution is close them. Customers, well, they don't count. And what branches there are, put a couple of unhelpful staff in and self-service machines. And customers, well, they'll soon learn to go online or go elsewhere. So bank charges go up and customer service goes down. They give you a loan if it suits them. Credit cards if you fit their criteria, and they can be sure of making lots of money from you. The key really is to get rid of all those millstones around your neck if you have them. Get rid of the store cards and wind down using credit cards. And if we do use credit cards, and they can come in useful, pay them off before the interest charges kick in. And beware the pre-accepted loan offers from online financing houses, because we know people who, if they were offered a loan, would take it and think about what they would buy with it. And the opportunity of spending money would just be too great. And they'd start with a slap-up meal and think about how to spend the balance while they were eating it. And the only thing they wouldn't think about would be what the interest rate was or how to pay it back. So move on to crazy spending habit number 3, which is betting. Now, Bet365 is owned by a lady called Denise Coates, and she's one of Britain's wealthiest women with an estimated value of around £4 billion. And the 2022 turnover of Bet365 was £2.85 billion, which comes from betting and gaming. And that's an awful lot of losing bets. Now, Ladbrokes and Coral, they were expecting a £985 million profit for 2022, and they make their profits from you and me and thousands like us who think we can make money from betting. Because the short answer is we can't. We can entertain ourselves by having wagers where we pit our wits against the bookmakers and try to forecast outcomes, but we might have good wins, we might have lucky streaks, but long term we always lose because the odds are stacked against us. And the worst part of today's betting climate is that it has been shown that gambling addiction is serious now, and sufferers lose their ability to stop and rationalise what they're doing. They just have to keep betting and chasing their losses, and always after that big win. It's a mental health issue, and the worst affected by gambling addiction live in the poorer areas of any town. So that's where the bookmakers open their new shops. They make them warm and welcoming, offer free tea and coffee to suitable clients, and then watch while they drain all the money away over the counter or in the slot machines. Now, the government has tried to enforce legislation to stop gambling addicts pouring all their money away. Betting firms must identify gambling addicts and stop them betting. But some chance of that working. They go through the motions and they make the right noises, but they've got no real intention of stopping punters losing money. Ladbrokes were fined £17 million in 2022 for failing to adhere to the addiction guidelines. But from profits of £985 million, well, Ladbrokes are just laughing at those fines. And similar fines have been handed out to many of the other big firms, but they're all meaningless. And if this wasn't bad enough, quite often the big firms, taking greed to another level, will actually try and avoid paying out winning bets, if at all possible. Now, there's a link to a YouTube video in the description below, where a punter was filmed being bullied by William Hill's staff when he tried to collect his winnings. They even called the police and told them he was harassing them. It's not a nice video, but if you want to see a real example of how the bookies operate, it's worth a watch, but not just yet. So I, for one, have pulled away from ever adding to the profits of the big firms. In fact, I won't be adding to the profits of any of those three sectors we've identified today. If we buy a car from a small family-run dealership with low overheads and no smart-talking salesman, we'll probably find a good deal for a car. If we avoid high-interest loans, store cards and credit cards, we'll avoid making the bloated banks any more bloatier. Bloatier. And keep away from the bookies, in shop or online. Your nest egg will thank you for it. Now, just suppose that you were able to avoid making any of those greedy three sectors any richer, and instead put a significant amount of money away each month, equivalent to what you would have spent each month, plus also start an online business to supplement that significant amount. Would that be the start of a plan? I do have a suggestion for an online business that you can find by clicking a link in the description below. And if right now you are in good health with some quality time available, then it might be beneficial to read my retirement plan report and seriously consider investing in yourself and starting that business. It can create more money than an hourly rate type of job, and your business can be built from home with hours to suit. Look at it that retirement is not a steady decline, but a new chapter. Check the link below now, but before you go, perhaps you can give me a like, give me a comment, and subscribe to my channel. And take a look at more of my videos where we look at how to retire on our terms and retire wealthy. So, bye for now.